Hi everybody, Gabby here with yet another battle a day. Today's battle is against my good friend Blake Hopper, aka MrBopper. He had a very good season last year. He won his way through the LCQ, which for those of you who don't know, that is, I believe, 12 or 13 rounds of single elimination best of one Swiss. I mean best of three, I'm sorry, I just said gibberish. The LCQ is single elimination best of three matches, which is really difficult, and actually went on to get 11th place in Worlds, which is a huge accomplishment. So this should be another really good battle like yesterday's with Collins. I'm using the same team. So for those of you who may not remember, it's on the bottom of the screen: Politoed, Mega Metagross, Scrafty, Ludicolo, Amoonguss, and Thundurus. Whereas it looks like Blake has brought a Sun team with a Charizard, Scrafty, Heatran, Venusaur, Landorus, and Rotom W. This presents a little bit of some trouble for me because my Sun matchup isn't the greatest. I have enough to maneuver it, but my biggest problem is that my Mega is Mega Metagross, which does not like the Sun at all. So really what happens in a lot of these matches for me is that if I get Rain Up in the end, I win. If I don't get Rain Up in the end, I lose. So keeping that in mind, as much as I really want to lead with Politoed here, I don't think I can. It's been a while since I've played a Sun team with this team, so you know what? I do have Rain Dance on my Politoed, and it's Scarf, meaning I will outspeed his Charizard if he decides to Mega Evolve that turn. So I think I'm just gonna go for it. Again, might not be the smartest play. In fact, it actually might be a pretty stupid play. But it's our first game. I'm just gonna give it a try. We'll see what happens. In the back, I think, looking at his team... Oh, I'm running out of time. I'm gonna bring Metagross, Ludicolo. Again, this is mostly just a knee-jerk reaction because that timer is running out, and I think that me trying to narrate my thoughts is also kind of prohibiting them a little bit, meaning that I keep blanking out randomly and maybe not making the best plays. So anyways, I do lead Politoed, Thundurus, much against my better judgment, and he leads Scrafty, Scrafty Ludicolo. That's not anything like a Ludicolo. He leads Scrafty and his Charizard, meaning chances are he's going to Mega Evolve this turn, and chances are something's going to get faked out. So that leaves me with a few options for this turn. Chances are the fake out's going to hit the Thundurus because it can't really stop it. I mean, I used to run Thundurus with Protect. I don't have it on this team. Situations like this makes me wish I really did have it. So then Politoed's options are to stay in and hopefully not die, or switch out and preserve Rain. Fortunately for me, though, I have a third option, which is to click the Rain Dance button, which is exactly what I'm going to do. His Charizard uses Protect here, which isn't the greatest for me because now he knows I have Rain Dance. And he goes for the knockoff onto my Politoed, meaning he also knows I have Scarf now. Overall, a very terrible turn for me. I should have saw that coming. More and more high-level players who are running Charizard will protect that first turn, especially when they see potential weather threats on the other team, just to try and scope out and make that person lose their momentum, which, hey, is exactly what happened to me. So I have no choice but to switch out here. I also don't really have much choice of who to switch out to. So I'm going to switch out to my Ludicolo. I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave onto that Charizard. He actually withdraws his Charizard, which is a very smart play, and sends in Rotom. He is reading me really well right now. This is not really the position I wanted to be in, especially if he goes in for the knockoff onto my Ludicolo spot, which he doesn't. He goes for my Thundurus, which isn't the end of the world for me. The good news is, though, I can finally start doing some damage this turn. It's my birthday? Okay, I'm sorry, I saw that out of the corner of my eye and was like, no. Anyways, so I'm going to go for the Giga Drain onto that Rotom. I know that Scrafty is going to go for the knockoff, most likely onto my Ludicolo. Actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, why don't we just double into Scrafty? I really don't want Ludicolo to lose the Assault Vest here, because I have a feeling that could actually cost me the game if my misplays up to this point haven't already. Really, the best thing I can do here is just to make the risky plays. It looks like his Scrafty does have the Assault Vest, judging by that bulk. Maybe he doesn't have Fake Out, I don't know. I do get lucky with the Thunder Paralysis. Whether or not that means he can attack this turn, we'll find out. I get lucky with a Hydro Pump miss too, but he does get the knockoff off. I do lose my Assault Vest, which will definitely not help me for game 2. I definitely did not bring the best Pokemon for this match, and I think it's really about time I start thinking about the plays that I make. So last turn I doubled into that Scrafty, only to find that it had Assault Vest, which I really should have predicted better. Scrafty nowadays are either Assault Vest, or they have Lum, or maybe Choppleberry or leftovers, but nothing outside of those. So really the only thing I can do at this point is just try and get momentum back in my favor. And I don't really know what the best way to do that is. Again, weather teams aren't my forte. Well, sun teams with rain. Anyways, thinking ahead, I'm more concerned about the Rotom than I am anything else. I'm going to do the double play again. Again, for lack of really much else to do, hoping that I will knock it out. I get the Giga Drain crit, which I think definitely mattered. It does have Citrus though, so we'll see how much damage Thunder does to it here. I'm hoping for a knockout. I don't know how bulky that Rotom is though. I do get the knockout. I had no idea if that crit mattered. And Scrafty is fully paralyzed, which definitely mattered. So now here's the tricky question. Who will he send in? If I were him, I'd send in his Charizard, and I would definitely Mega Evolve here and just go for Heat Wave or something. And I can't switch quite yet because Politoed, if I switch it in now, I will lose the weather because he'll just Mega Evolve instantly. So this might seem like a weird play, but predicting that he's going to Protect, I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave again onto that Charizard, and I'm going to Scald into that Scrafty spot. He withdraws his Scrafty for... I don't know who that is. Looks like a Landorus. Intimidate's not going to help him much here, but Rock Slide next turn definitely will. And he has a way to switch out his Charizard in case he wants to get Sun back, which, judging by how he's Mega Evolving, that's probably exactly what he wants. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually Mega Evolved and Protected here, because now he knows that he outspeeds my Ludicolo next turn. Oh no, he didn't Protect. Alright, so I do Paralyze him, which may help get me some momentum back in the future, I don't know. Scald will hit that Landorus and not do much because of the Sun, unfortunately. And he does get the Heat Wave off, which will definitely kill my Thundurus, and put me in a really awkward position, because all he has to do here is switch out, and then he gets his weather back. But thankfully, I still have my Metagross in the back, so I think I can make a rally for it. I do get Rain back, which means for this turn, I will outspeed that Landorus, hopefully, and definitely be able to KO it with Ice Beam. I don't know what set it has, if it's Scarf, if it's Sash, I don't know anything. If it's Assault Vest, I could be in trouble, but for now, I think my best bet is to just play the safe play, go for Scald, go for Ice Beam. He switches out the Landorus, which is a very interesting play. I don't really know what he was thinking there. Maybe he wants to be able to Fake Out Rock Slide next turn? Charizard protects, which is perfectly fine with me. Ludicolo takes the Ice Beam, goes for that Scrafty. He's not going to do much damage because we've already established that it's Assault Vest. But now, now the question is, will he switch out to Landorus and try and get Sun back? I kind of hope he does. I'm just going to go for Scald, from the Politoed onto that. Actually, wait, if he fakes out something, who would he fake out? Probably the Ludicolo here. Unless he wants to try and fake out the Politoed and also get weather back. I really need Ludicolo to stay alive if I want to win this. I really don't want to take fake out damage. You know what? We're gonna do something kind of crazy. I'm gonna switch out Metagross now. No, but that won't work either, because I need to make sure I keep Rain up. Basically, my goal for this turn is to somehow kill something and make sure I can get Rain back. The problem is, he's definitely going to fake out my Ludicolo. Because if I try and switch out Politoed here... You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go for the Scald, or no, I'm not gonna do the Scald on that. I'm gonna switch out Ludicolo into my Metagross, hoping that I don't eat Fake Out. I'm gonna continue to Scald the Charizard spot, hoping that I kill his Landorus on the switch. And then just pray that I can handle the Charizard. Alright, perfect. So he does switch out Charizard for Landorus. Fingers crossed that he does go for the fake out onto the Metagross spot as opposed to the Politoed spot. We will find out momentarily. Oh, it looks like he went for an attack, which is interesting. Scald will kill that Landorus, which means, honestly, all I have to do this turn is really keep Metagross alive, protect, so he doesn't like Heat Wave or something, and get Politoed out of there so I can get Rain back the turn after. Ludicolo, unfortunately, is going to be the victim of this whole process. My boyfriend Chalky likes to call it like a body bag or something, because you're just... It's cruel, but sometimes you have to sack Pokemon on purpose in order to make the play that you need played. You gotta play the plays. So I'm switching out my Politoed so I can regain Rain and effectively nerf his Charizard. And I'm protecting Metagross so that way I don't have to take that nasty Heat Wave damage, because nobody wants that. I'm also Mega Evolving this turn, which, if I were running a team that had like a nebulous, like maybe 2 Mega Pokemon, I don't know if I'd necessarily Mega Evolve here, because this is information he can use in game 2. But because my team only has 1 potential Mega, unless they decide to introduce like Mega... Amoonguss or something, that Paralysis caught me by surprise, and it definitely helps my position here. So I'm switching in Politoed now to effectively completely get rid of the Sunlight for the rest of this game, and I'm going to go for the Scald right into that Charizard spot. I know that one-on-one Metagross can completely dominate that paralyzed Scrafty. So my priority here is to kill that Charizard before anything else happens. He might try and protect here, at which point I could lose Ludicolo, but honestly I think getting Rain back would be game. He does protect, which was a very good play. We'll see what happens here. Scald into the protect, Drain Punch goes into the Ludicolo, does knock it out. So... yeah, I could have Scalded into that Scrafty there, but I really wanted to try and play safe. So looking at how much HP that... well, first of all, I'm going to definitely Scarf Scald into that Charizard. I'm trying to think. Looking at how much HP I have left, I could set up a sub here, but instead, I think I'm actually going to try and double into that Charizard just in case Scald doesn't kill it. Oh, thank God. If he would have gotten the double protect there, I would have been terrified. I worry a lot about Scald missing KOs, even if it is like it's a timid, well, okay, crits help. It's a timid max special attack, max speed Politoed, but I don't really know my calcs that well. And oh god, okay, that actually might have cost me the game. Uh-oh. Okay, well, this will be interesting. I probably should have just trusted that Scald would kill there. But instead, it's going to be Iron Head, which has a 30% chance of flinch, versus a Paralyzed Scrafty, Scrafty goes for knockoff. Please don't kill. Okay, we're good. So as long as I can attack with Ironhead this game, I win. I made some plays towards the end that could have really cost me the game, honestly. I think Blake did a really great job of coming back. So going into game 2, I have to really make sure that my end game and me identifying any sort of win conditions is a lot stronger, because that 1-0 could have easily been a 3-0, honestly. Identifying win conditions is something that I need to get a lot better at. So good game, Blake. That's game 1 of 3, hopefully. So let's see what happens. Let me just get game 2 started here. So going into game 2, again, the question is, what do I lead? And especially with weather team, like this weather matchup, it's really a big question. Do I lead that Thunderous Politoed again? Do I not? It's really tough to say, because if we both lead the same thing and he leads that Charizard, he could very well attack and just basically call my bluff and leave me with a Scarf Politoed that's like just I don't know, dead. But just like my battle yesterday with Colin, I don't think Scrafty and Amoonguss are really going to do much work for me here. I'd be curious to see if he brings that Venusaur this game. Considering how heavily I relied on Rain, having Grass and Giga Drain may help him. Plus, also Sludge Bomb could help with Ludicolo. I just have to hope that my Metagross is going to be enough to stop it. So, I know last game I changed up my lead game too, and I think that actually threw the momentum out of my favor. This game, I'm going to lead the same thing. Again, depending on the person you're playing, this could be a huge mistake. But looking at the team in front of me, I feel like my only chance really is to have some maneuverability with Politoed, and unfortunately on this team, the only way to really switch him out is to switch him into Ludicolo, which resists pretty much anything that Charizard could attack it with, unless he has Air Slash, which he did not reveal. He only used Heat Wave and Protect last game, which is interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Overheat was on there too. Alright, so Bopper's taking this pretty much the last second. Hopefully he's thinking pretty hard. But the timer did not run out, which means that he did select his 4 Pokemon successfully, and it will not be the first 4 that were listed on Team Preview. Which is just something to keep in mind if you're ever in like an official tournament or battle spot. If your opponent runs the Team Picker to time, then that means that the first 4 Pokemon in their party were automatically picked. Alright, so we see same leads on both sides actually. He did not use Fake Out last game, which makes me wonder if he even has it. We do know that it's an Assault Fest Scrafty, and we do know that he can knock off my Choice Scarf. Actually, come to think of it, that happened last game and I completely forgot. This is why I should be taking notes. Anyways, lack of notes aside, it's really tempting for him to bluff the same play here. Or for me to assume he's going to try and make the same play. But knowing Blake, I want to say he's actually going to try something a little more complex, unless he really wants to get rid of my Politoed Scarf right off the bat. So that being said, again, this could be stupid, but I'm going to make the same exact play as I did last time, hoping that he'd predict I'd do something smarter, and instead I'm just making the stupid play. Alright, so he does Mega Evolve again, which will keep Sun, or which will introduce Sun, which means my Politoed's Rain Dance won't be in vain, unless he has Fake Out, which we will see. He does go for the Protect again though, which means even though we won't be seeing Fake Out, at least I'll get Rain Out. So the question is, what's Scrafty gonna do? I would think he's gonna knock off my Choice Scarf again. Yep, I thundered into that Protect. Knockoff goes into the Thunderous, which means I unfortunately have a Politoed that's still locked into Rain Dance, which is fine. So I'm going to actually switch Politoed out here. I don't have much much else of a choice. I wouldn't be surprised if he sends in that Landorus here, which is why I'm going to send in my Ludicolo. Even if I lose Assault Vest, I will have the speed advantage with Ice Beam, which is what I really want. And then I targeted Thunder into the Scrafty spot, just because if he does switch into Landorus here, I really don't want to waste the turn just thundering into something that's a ground type. Instead, he sends in Rotom again, which is making me think that this is like a really similar game to last time, which is very interesting. I don't know if this is just the way that we play or what. I do get a crit on the Thunder Wave, however, he has Ice Punch on his Scrafty, which does not KO. But I don't have my Citrus Berry anymore, and unfortunately, after one more attack, my Thundurus will be dead. I don't really want it to die quite yet. I would much rather have it around to help deal with that Charizard later. I don't see anything here that can really threaten my Metagross, so I'm going to switch it in. And then I'm just going to go straight for the Scald onto that Scrafty, because I do know that Rotom probably has Will-O-Wisp, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Protect, and I'm not really afraid of any of that. He could Hydro Pump directly into my Thundurus, but given that I'm only at 44 HP, he'd really only do that if he was anticipating the switch, which I'm hoping he won't. So Ludicolo goes first, goes for Scald, will connect with Scrafty, does a decent amount of damage, no burn, Thunderbolt into the Metagross, which means he probably went for knockoff onto my Ludicolo to get rid of that Assault Vest. Looks like, yep, that's exactly what happened. The good news is, though, is that here I can attack that Scrafty for the KO with an Iron Head, easy. And then go for Giga Drain onto that Rotom W to get more health. If he burns me, though, that could be a problem. Though it looks like Thunderbolt did just enough damage to break a sub. So the real question is, do I think he's going to Will-O-Wisp here or not? I think that killing Scrafty would outweigh the potential of getting burned. So I'm just going to go ahead and double attack here, which may or may not work out. He switches out his Scrafty for his Charizard, which means that Sun will come up, which means he probably used Thunderbolt again, either Thunderbolt or possibly Will-O-Wisp if he has it, with that Rotom. I do Mega Evolve, which means I will be pretty fast next time I come in. There's no way I'm staying in at this point. I need to switch out. I don't want to deal with rain. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to deal with rain. I do Giga Drain. I activate his Citrus Berry, meaning that he's going to be almost at full health, which isn't the best. It might have made more sense to just double into that Rotom here. I don't know. Rotom goes for Thunderbolt. Maybe he doesn't even have Will-O-Wisp. I don't know. Brings Metagross down into the yellow. Yeah, so I feel like my switch into Politoed here is pretty obvious, actually. And you know what? He's probably gonna, like, either switch out that Rotom, anticipating that I'm gonna switch, or he's just gonna Thunderbolt again, because I do not have the speed advantage anymore. And in addition, you know, I'm pretty much gonna die to whatever he throws at me at this point, especially if it's a Heat Wave from a Charizard. So I'm going to make a little bit of a risky play, and I'm going to actually save my switch out for next turn. I'm going to protect on my Metagross. I'm going to go for the Giga Drain again onto Rotom. I know it won't kill, but it looks like he actually might have seen the switch there, which puts me in a better position for next turn. So even though I'm at -1 with Metagross, like, I'm not that worried, honestly. As long as I get some... Oh! Alright, so I won't get any HP with Ludicolo this turn, because he did use Protect, meaning I'm only curious about what his last move is. So now here's where things get interesting. I could actually sack my Metagross here in exchange for his Scrafty, provided he doesn't switch it out, because it doesn't have Fake Out. Just thinking, if I switch out my Metagross into Politoed, it's actually going to be slower than that Charizard. Or well, it's going to switch first, which means Sun's still going to stay up, which is not a good play. I don't really like the idea of possibly Giga Draining into Charizard, so I think instead I'm actually just going to Scald. I don't... Oh no, he has no reason to switch Rotom out. Unless he's just worried about taking Giga Drain damage, which he's not, so... Iron Head will kill the Scrafty, so slowly making progress here. Thunderbolt, however, will kill my Metagross. Again, not really sure how much of a difference that makes at this point. Really, next turn, depending on who he sends in, he's probably going to send in his whatever his fourth Pokemon is. At least that's what I'd do, because I'd want the ability to switch out for weather. Which is exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to send in Thundurus again. And he sends out his fourth, which is that... Alright, it is indeed the Venusaur, which will have double speed this turn, which means it can actually Sludge Bomb my Ludicolo, and without my Assault Vest, I have no idea if I can live that, honestly. So my options here are really to lean heavily on hacks, or switch Ludicolo out in favor of Politoed, which will put me in jeopardy for weather later on. I don't really like the idea of hinging my win on hacks here, but at the same time, I don't really know if I like breaking out weather again this soon. Especially since if I do kill his Rotom this turn, he's just gonna send Charizard right back in. So I apologize, Blake. I am gonna hit the swagger button if this comes back and like hurts me in the face. Like, I totally asked for it. But Blake protects, so there's no swagger this turn. I'm almost happy about that, honestly. Though it does put me in a predicament because my whatchamacallit, my Thundurus is now dead. When sending out Politoed versus Venusaur or versus Charizard, I have two options. One is I press the Rain Dance button and nix his Sun, but am basically screwed in everything else. Or two is that I just attack. Oh, this is a terrible decision. Thankfully for me though, I only have 5 Rain Dance PP. I could like just try and swagger it. Or not swagger, I meant swagger in like a kind of like confidence, just making the stupid play but doing it anyways. Or I could go for the Scarf Ice Beam into that Venusaur, which probably will outspeed me and just Giga Drain anyways and kill me. Yeah, so very good plays by Blake here. He definitely won the weather war this time around. So you know what? He already knows I have Rain Dance, and I don't want to show him that I know Ice Beam on this Politoed. So I'm going to just Rain Dance, Ice Beam. Maybe I'll get lucky and like not die to Sludge Bomb. The answer is yes, that's good to know. Without Assault Vest, I do survive Sludge Bomb. And I do opt for setting up Rain here, which, again, may have been a stupid play. Heat Wave from Charizard, Rain's gonna nerf that, which means Ludicolo lives the crit with 1 HP. Politoed gets burned. Unless this freezes, I'm just gonna call it good game. No, that didn't freeze. Alright, I'm just gonna forfeit this one. Great job, Blake. Means game 3 is gonna be super interesting. Yeah, I don't even know what to expect. It's kind of an interesting predicament because basically I need the rain to win and he needs the sun to win. And it ultimately comes down to who has the weather war won. Which means, honestly, my best bet would be to get rid of that Charizard as soon as possible. At which point, honestly, like a Thunder will KO it. It's just a matter of like how, I guess? I don't know. Because both games so far, he's brought Charizard and he's protected. First turn. So the question is, do I think he'll do it again? And whether or not I want to hinge my whole kind of victory on it. The other thing I could do is bring Scrafty instead of my Ludicolo, Fake Out, or actually this Scrafty doesn't have Fake Out, my bad. This is a very tricky situation to be in. Because that Scrafty is a huge problem, and the fact that I can't really take it out easily is huge. So you know what I'm gonna do? No, that'd be too obvious. I think I have to play the same exact lead. I really don't have any other options against this Sun team with this team. Maybe, like, if I were to go back and revisit this, which I'm sure I'll tweak it as I record more and more of these videos, I think having a better answer to Rain would definitely help. And part of this issue actually is the Choice Scarf on Politoed, because otherwise I would underspeed, and in situations where Politoed and Charizard are sent in at the same time, I'd still get the Rain back. So, like, ironically enough, Scarf isn't really helping me this battle. That's not even ironic, I apologize. You know, Scarf hasn't really helped me at all. In fact, it's really only hurt me at this point, so maybe I'll consider taking it out. Alright, so we see, again, same leads. Well, my same lead, at least. He leads Charizard, Rotom, W. The question is, will he Mega Evolve here? And the question is, how do I feel like playing this? Not gonna lie, like, hitting the swagger button here did pop into my head. But I really don't like to base my victories off of, like, just trying to win momentum just via hacks. So let me see here. If he Thunderbolts my Ludicolo, my Politoed slot, I'm gonna switch that out to Ludicolo, definitely. I'm pretty sure he's gonna Mega Evolve here and protect. But on the off chance that he doesn't, because I know he's done that for the past 3 games. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I apologize, Blake, but I can't really see a good way out of this that isn't switch in Ludicolo and just try and make it so Rotom doesn't do anything when you attack this turn. Because I am fairly certain that he's going to protect on that Charizard. Or maybe he'll switch it out, at which point Rain stays up and I'm still in a decent position. Nope, he does not. He Mega Evolves. Sun will come back into play. And we will see what that Rotom tries to do, or even what that Charizard tries to do. Okay, he does protect, which makes me feel a lot better about my play, because now I can switch in Politoed next turn. And again, I apologize for relying on Swagger. It was either Swagger rolls or Thunder misses, and really I felt more comfortable with the Swagger, honestly, because that's a 50% chance, which didn't actually have any effect here anyways. So, oh, so there's my karma for pressing the Swagger button. Ludicolo does get paralyzed, which is definitely going to hurt this game. So I think I'm going to Thunder the Charizard, and instead of switching out, oh, I don't know. It's really, I mean, as much as I'd love to Giga Drain here, I don't see why that Charizard would stay in, because I'm pretty sure he thinks that my Politoed's going to come back in, which as much as I want it to, I think I just gotta play a little risky here. Let's hope it pays off. Yep, okay, so he switches out Charizard, probably expecting that I'd send in my Politoed, which I did not. Sends in his Scrafty. Intimidate's not going to really do much here. I rolled for Thunder, which does connect. Let's see how much it does. I don't think I actually have seen a... Alright, does a little more than half. Still confused. Will-O-Wisp into the Thunderous. Not really sure why he did that. Maybe he thought that my Metagross was going to come in. But it's really good to know that that's what his fourth move is. And now I know that my Metagross, like, what I need to do to be safe with it, basically. So now, knowing that he has his Scrafty on the field, I'm pretty sure he's going to start using that knockoff to his advantage. A Giga Drain will definitely kill Rotom from here. I'm going to go ahead and set up Thunder Wave onto that Scrafty. Again, I really apologize for relying so heavily on hacks here, but I think I really need it to kind of swing the momentum in my favor at this point, because Blake's team is really strong, and it's just a really hard matchup for me. And unfortunately, hacks rolls do take some of the pressure off from that. Just trying to get that momentum in your favor, especially when it's so close like this, like a fully paralysis could really ruin you, honestly. So Rotom hits itself in the face and allows me to get the KO without taking any more damage onto my Ludicolo. Knockoff goes for the Thunderous. I think he's worried about that Citrus Berry that I have. Which makes sense because that really helps Thunderous kind of live longer. So, question is, who is he going to send in? He sends in Venusaur, which was his fourth the last game as well. I still have Assault Vest on my Ludicolo, but instead, I'm going to, again, Thunder Wave here onto that Venusaur. I really don't want it to be, like, boosted in Sun. And as much as I'd love to, like, switch out my Ludicolo and not have to eat, actually, wait. Because I know he's probably going to knock off. If I were him, I'd Sludge Bomb the Thunderous and I'd knock off my Ludicolo. So I guess what I'll do is just, I don't want to Scald into that Scrafty, knowing that it's Assault Vest and knowing that the sun is up. So I'm just gonna, oh, really good play by Blake. I doubled into the Venusaur there just for lack of anything else to do, really. Which means he's going to get a free knockoff onto my Ludicolo. Or no, he's not. He's going to go straight for the Ice Punch onto Thunderous, which will kill. Which actually kind of works out to my advantage, because now I can send in Metagross here. Even if he does switch into Charizard, nobody likes to get a, whatchamacallit, a Zen Headbutt to the face. And if he Giga Drains my Ludicolo, that's not really gonna do much. So I guess I will... I think the play here is to keep Ludicolo in, try and kill his Venusaur, and then just do literally any kind of damage to that Scrafty. In this case, I'm gonna pick Giga Drain because maybe getting like 2 HP back will help me farther down the line. I don't know. Let's find out. Alright, Venusaur goes away, which if Zen Headbutt connects, this could actually be really great for me because that could potentially get rid of his Charizard. I do Mega Evolve. There's my glorious Mega Metagross. Zen Headbutt does connect. Question is, will it KO? I forget this calc. Does not KO. Does over half though, which is great. Which means I can actually... Alright, and then knock off into the Ludicolo. I lose my Assault Vest. So, and the sun runs out. Okay. This is where things get tricky. If he switches in his Venusaur for that Charizard to try and get Sun back, then the play would be to Zen Headbutt that slot and hope that I connect and I kill. I don't want to send in Politoed because I know that... Okay. I think what I need to do here is protect on my Metagross and then go for the Scald onto the Charizard. He switches in Venusaur for the Scrafty slot. As long as Ludicolo attacks this turn, I should be okay. So fingers crossed. Like, come on, Ludicolo. Oh, and he protects. Okay, never mind. I tried to make the play. Okay. And I was... Okay, wow. Well, good news, everyone. This kind of works out in my favor. Actually, I think what he's going to do here is protect on the Venusaur so he can come back in with Sun and send in his Scrafty for that Charizard slot. If he doesn't, though, I really want to make sure I can possibly survive any Heat Wave. So what I'm doing is I'm going to... Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. I set up sub on Metagross, knowing that Venusaur can't really do much. Yeah, getting the -1 from that Scrafty stinks, but I'm basically untouchable now with Metagross. I highly doubt he can break that sub. I really doubt it. So Politoed comes in, brains up. I'm probably going to just automatically switch it back out next turn, honestly. And Metagross gets the sub. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Sludge Bomb goes into the Politoed slot. Politoed does get poisoned, but does not die, which is what I was hoping for. Yeah. So now I think I have sub up, and as much as I'd really love to send Headbutt into that Venusaur slot, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he protected here. So instead, I'm going to Iron Head the Scrafty, and then switch out my Politoed again for Ludicolo. I really hope he doesn't call this play, because if he Sludge Bombs the Ludicolo, that could also be bad. I'll find out. No, okay, he might have actually called the play. Good for him. Yeah, good for him. That was a tough one. Oh no, Giga Drain into the Ludicolo. Never mind. That's still gonna do damage, but it could be worse, and I get the flinch. And Ludicolo... Alright. I'm gonna go for Zen Headbutt now. I'm gonna go for the Scald onto the Scrafty spot. Even if he does switch one of those things out for Charizard, I hope it's enough to kill it. Oh man, this is so close. Man, I'm like kind of shaking. I don't think you can tell because like I'm trying to keep my hands out of the camera view. Zen Headbutt connects with Venusaur. I'm at -1. It does not kill. Shoot. Oh, but I get the flinch. Oh my god, that's huge. I'm so sorry about the hacks this game, Blake. Knockoff goes into the Metagross, will break my sub. Yeah, okay. I gotta risk Zen Headbutt here again. But I'm gonna also... Oh god. So let me think here real quick. The question is, will he switch out anything for that Charizard? And if so, he can't really attack me with his Venusaur with Metagross. But he can kill Scrafty, which is why it's really important that I try. I gotta make the same moves. I hate this. Oh my god. Okay, Zen Headbutt connects, which will kill Venusaur before it can kill my Ludicolo. Ludicolo will hopefully Scald. Yes, Ludicolo scalds, which will knock out the Scrafty. Oh my god. Again, Blake, I'm sorry about the hacks this game. I can't really say I'm proud of it, but sometimes you just gotta make plays. I got really lucky. Drought comes back up. My play here is really straightforward. Get Rain, Scald, and then basically just Scald. Really good games, Blake. Thank you so much for playing. Again, sorry about the hacks. If you liked the battle that you saw today, I will include both Blake and my Twitter links in the description. So please, feel free to contact us if you have any questions about plays we made or anything like that. If you like what you see, please subscribe, tell your friends, and if you want to challenge me, actually, let me know. I will be taking challenges Wednesday night this week and hoping to pre-record a few games for later on this week because of Seattle Regionals. I have a few friends coming into town. And hey, if you're at Seattle and you see me, come say hi. I'd love to talk Pokemon with you. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a good day, and I'm Gabby, and that was your Battle a Day.